Hey everyone, for my final project, I made a recipe blog assignment for my teen chef students to use as their final project. In this assignment, I wanted to use as many tools that I learned in this class as possible. So on the next slide, I added a content slide which utilized the add-on slide contents. It was just like 2 clicks and it made this slide for me. Wasn't the most visually appealing slide, and I could definitely add some things, but I like the idea of having one slide where you can easily access with one click any of the future slides. So what is a recipe blog? I have a video here for students to watch just to discover a little bit about them because it's something completely new to our class. I use the Y2 Cropper resource that I discovered in this course just to shrink down and get rid of some of those elements that I didn't think were necessary for my class to watch. The video button, or how you insert a video into Google Slides, only allows the actual YouTube video to be added as a clip like this, which I really like. And unfortunately, I couldn't add the Y2 cropper, so that was a bummer. But I could add the link easily too. Next, I want students to just explore a little bit about some different recipe blogs and find some common features. So linked to these logos are the different blogs there, and students need to pick at least 2, and they should be coming up with a list of common features. So they're doing some discovering here. On the next slide, I do have a list of those common features I have pulled. Before actually showing this slide, I would definitely want to have a class discussion, try and come up with our own list, and then I would fill in some holes if there were any. Now as the students create their recipe blog, they are meeting these objectives that we've kind of already established previously in the course. They're just using them all together as they do this final create a recipe blog using culinary terms appropriately to teach others how to make a recipe. So it's pulling everything together here in the end, and allowing the students a chance just to kind of show what they know in the very end of the semester in a creative way. So students pick a recipe and make it following these guidelines. They type up their blog. I have them do this in a Google Doc. That way, it's distraction free. They're just typing. They're not worrying about the creativity in the whole website quite yet. Just really focusing on these key elements that they need to include. Then they're summarizing their recipe. This links to the Google Drawing template that I made in this class. And students can use this or make their own completely, but I do want to give an option of just kind of a starting point for some students that might feel a little bit overwhelmed, but students can go off on their own and use their own tool to create if they have a better idea as well. Then students create their recipe blog website using Google Sites. They already have accounts with Google Drive through the school, so logging in isn't a concern. It all saves to the same place, so that's nice and easy, and they need to include all of these elements. Then it's time for them to turn it in, comment on their classmates, and I have some guidelines here. They put it in their Canvas course, which is our online classroom, in the discussion board, so it's easily accessible for their classmates to add a positive comment, an improvement, or question for them. I've also linked in the rubric to this assignment. A lot of students really like having this straight from the beginning so they know what they need to have in their recipe blog in order to get all of the points for this. And I certainly want students to be successful in their learning as well as their academic grade. So I want to give that to them straightforward from the beginning. As I'm thinking about the things I've learned in this class, it really all comes back to the different pieces of the different resources and tools that can all be pulled together and not just eliminate to 1 or 2. I still really like using Google Slides. I know Slides and PowerPoints are kind of an old tool, but I think there's so many new things to add in, like the add-ons, that can make them even better. I think a slide like this is great for laying out instructions, especially where it can be a visual tool during instruction when I'm going through these, as well as just a link in their online course for them to refer back to. So I think adding in all the links, the different tools that they can utilize, finding it in one spot is really, really beneficial. So that's kind of my takeaway from the class. I will not be actually implementing this assignment until next semester, as we kind of ran out of time this semester. I didn't have it planned out to add in yet. So I'd love any feedback, suggestions that I can kind of tweak before I actually have students do this, and I can kind of get their feedback then as well. Thanks, guys.